750 million people are a lot of people. And that's how many people within the next 22 years will almost certainly run low on water, a necessity of life, in just the regions whose rivers are supplied with water from the glaciers in the Himalayas. To put that in perspective, 750 million people is more than twice the current population of the United States. It's about the population of all of Europe. In the year 1900, there were only 500 million people on the entire planet. 750 million people is a lot of people. The IPCC, the international body of scientists analyzing global climate change data, is releasing its new report in stages over the next week. And this early piece was reported on by the Financial Times on Monday. Under the headline, "Climate Change Chief Sounds Alert on Himalayan Glaciers," the opening sentence of the article by Pilita Clark summarizes it very tightly. The glaciers of the Himalayas are melting so fast, they will affect the water supplies of a population twice that of the U.S. within 22 years. The head of the world's leading authority on climate change has warned. And that's just the Himalayas and the rivers that flow out of their glaciers towards South Asian regions like India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, and China. There are similar glaciers around the mountain ranges of western South America that supply water to other hundreds of millions of people, and they're all at risk too. We're even seeing it here in the United States with last year's drought in the West. Glaciers are changing in Europe, and the regions of Tanzania supplied by the famous snows of Kilimanjaro are drying up in ways that are creating serious drought problems for the people in those parts of Africa. On yesterday's edition of The Big Picture, I spoke to Rosemary Eni, a native of Tanzania, who talked about the struggles the people of Tanzania now face because of severe drought and dried up rivers from the loss of these glaciers.
I live in Tanzania. We all know of the famous Kilimanjaro mountain, which is the highest point in Africa. Several years back, we used to have a lot of snow on the Mount Kilimanjaro that used to melt down to the various communities that live on the mount, at the foot of the mount, and that's where they used to get their water. And you know, we know women are the ones that fetch water in Africa. They have to go for the water, they have to grow the food. As we have heard, 80% in Africa actually are the women that grow the food, and in the informal sector. So we see that climate change has become a very big problem in the sense that what the women could, like for example, if they had to go like say 3-4 hours to fetch water, now those streams have dried out, and now they have to go even 8 hours to fetch the water.
Contrary to what the front groups funded by the fossil fuel industry would have you believe, climate change doesn't just mean that the winters are milder or the planets have more carbon dioxide. It means that hundreds of millions of people will be displaced, will starve, and will die. It means wars. It means famines. It means raging forest fires and the death of grasslands. It means the acidification of our oceans and the destruction of our ocean ecosystems. It means that we stand on the edge of tipping points that hurtle humanity toward extinction. Yes, extinction. There have been 5 mass extinctions in the history of planet Earth, times when more than half of all life died and all the top predators, animals like us, vanished or nearly vanished. All of these mass extinctions were provoked by geologically sudden global warming. And now we are driving a similar process by burning fossil fuels. People around the world are already dying from global